Can someone run a schematic of how dehydrated all of the agriculture greenery is at every point of the foliage season? As a collective, that's a schematic that speaks numbers onto the health of all the plant life all about. Hey, I was thinking, it would be so great if we had 2 hit boxes, one for light, one for all the material that isn't light. And I was thinking, well, if it was a bad guy with like a bad guy was probably going to be like someone in the Marvel comic universe where it wasn't Nightwolf, it was Darewolf or something. And so this a-hole, Doomsday or something, the whole team of superheroes in the DC comics, no, it wasn't Crow. The whole team in the superheroes of the DC comics, the opposite of Avengers, they weren't as popular. Not the A-team. Boy, it's easier to think of them than these people. The League of Justice, the Justice League, was fighting this a-hole who had this giant block. And I was thinking, hey, if all of us have hit boxes, one light and one the other for all the material, it would be just like a schematic for all the agricultural drying, except for us it would be the aggregate of our entirety, mainly our genome and the blood. And so if this a-hole got the collective of all the hit boxes and made it one, he would be going after that giant cube that he was hunting, the Tesseract. And that would be a terrible thing, because if he got it, he'd control everyone. Just as if you got a schematic that was a physical form of all the foliage of agriculture in your land, you'd be able to control its health. So my headphones, they're not as strong as they used to be. They're broken in, so the bend on them is less bendy. It's like an elastic strap around your pants. After you wear them, the elastic wears. Or like your eyes. When I was a kid, the light didn't irritate me unless I went into a swimming pool. Fun fact, my eyes were blue when I was 3, and now they're green for the rest of my life. I also had blonde hair, which speaks numbers on what I'm about to tell you after I explain how light in my 30s and my late 20s is really hard on my eyes, whereas it feels like I was only having this harshness of the light in my eyes when I was a kid inside of a swimming pool. Well, I would be blind because I couldn't see, because it would be so light with the light reflecting off the water. Nowadays, light reflecting off concrete, though not as bright as shine off water, my eyes have worn like elastic in a band of underwear that you've been worn for 10 years. The elastic just isn't as strong. Whereas my eye retentions for all the focal lensings, they're getting worn too. And so that's why my eyes are having trouble without sunglasses. And that's why a lot of old people wear sunglasses. But my hair, on the other hand, is really dry because I haven't been using my special go-to product, because my car just broke and I don't have any money to fix it. So I definitely don't have any money to put in my hair. There's a fun quote in the Facebook. The guy said, his hair looks so good, but his teeth are so yellow. Oh, that speaks numbers and how much you care for yourself. But my hair, let's tie two together. My hair is so like dry all the time because it's really bad stuff in it. And I've got a whole bunch of split ends. I know I'm getting a haircut today only because I've got a free coupon. And so the hair in dryness is really slick, as opposed to just not greasy. And now it's stiff and greasy. And so that's 2 in 1. But tying it to this, the bendability on this doesn't stay on my head because it's been worn, and the roundings on it is somewhat like an elastic strap where it's been worn only this is more of a plastic, and elastic is plastic just in a different form. But this being bendable as well is like a worn elastic, and so it slips off my head easily. I was jumping and doing spinnings because I was seeing if I could with this giant backpack and wearing 2 coats, and I did. It's just when I jumped off the pole and was spinning, the headphones came off because my hair is so slick and greasy and dry, and these are so worn that they came right off when I started to spin. Luckily I grabbed it in midair because I'm good with, if I had a weapon and I was spinning in midair, I could control it. So the superhero's name, or the villain, the anti-superhero, his name was Steppenwolf, and I didn't want to think of his name because it reminds me of a crappy 70s band where when I heard that this giant villain in the DC universe equal to Thanos, his name is Steppenwolf, I'm like, no. That's why I thought it was Nightwolf. But if this a-hole got the Tesseract, which controlled the life force of everyone, it would be able to unravel genes because that was one hitbox. And then do what with blood? Boy, what could you do with blood? Well, the follicles in your hair get nutrients from the blood in your blood barrier sphere in your cranium, like how the waterbed and soil enriches grasses' roots, or poison them if you put acid rain and it leaches into the ground. So I guess just celebrate the fact that we don't have these 2 hit boxes that represent the longevity and life force driving your entirety, your embodiment. And so like there's everything that we have that isn't a representation of a hitbox. The fact that it isn't one, it's like you want to be attacked. Like that, showing that the new world order is attacking you, you want to be attacked. When in fact what could have been was what the prescription of identifying that everyone needed 2 hitboxes in the lore of the DC comic. Whose idea was that? Like, where was the thing being hidden at? It wasn't Thor and his brother had the thing hidden in Isengard, and then Thor's brother took it out, and then it just got hijacked. See, it's hijacking is with brute force. That's how Steppenwolf got it. There's 2 ways of getting something that isn't yours. You either hack it, and that can be with articulates, or you can brute force it and hijack it. The Tesseract got hijacked by Steppenwolf. Perhaps it's the opposite, where since we're 1 step ahead because we're not all confined to a giant Tesseract that rules everyone, because we're all brought about from the most random number generator possible, the fornication of the glands with the estrogen and then the testosterone were the most random number generators that we needed in order to bypass the hacking of what Steppenwolf did with the Tesseract. Substantially, that Tesseract had the ability to enslave the entire colony, the entire Asgard, all of it, within probably the entire universe. So the fact that we're not all confined to 1 Tesseract is a celebration in itself. You know, you might think it's kind of funny of this adult prescribing reality to comics, but then it's just how I felt every time I was having a scanner scan my brain, not my brain, but the temperature on my forehead. It's the same thing. To test if I was inflammatory with my heat responses, indicating the signs of a flu or something worse. And then having a QR code printed up for me to register for being tested for a flu or something worse. Those two vectors made me feel as though I had two hit boxes. And then since everyone was doing it and lining up, it was as